Look at my cat right next to me. He looks so cool. Hi guys, welcome back. I don't know why people say that. I mean, it's cool if you watch this. I'm very grateful. Today, it doesn't matter where the topic goes. I don't mind. I'm having a very chill, I want to have a very chill day because I'm so tired. And I guess this could go into that. Then I was reading a romance novel. I'm totally skimming through it, just reading the parts where it has to do with the protagonist or the, romantic people together. And anyways, I was reading this part where someone said that they're going to do so much because they have duty and responsibility and like obligations, and this person said that they live for other people more than they live for themselves. And it just kind of got to me in a kind of, oh, hi. I don't know who thumbs me up because it still says 0 viewers, but welcome back. If anyone's here, please chat. I would love to know. And anyways, I guess I wanted to talk about martyrdom and selflessness and living for other people, I guess. Do you live for other people? Do you feel like you do? Oh, sorry. Oh, my cat. What do I want to say about it? I think it's very complicated. I think it depends on you. I think sometimes if you live I think it's all about balance. It's okay to live for people sometimes, right? Sometimes you have to. Like, I'm a parent and my duty is to my kid, and it's not like I want to do it all the time. But life is tough, and that's what you do as a parent, right? But then there is a line. You don't have to do so much for your kid that you lose yourself. It doesn't have to be about your kid either. It's just like, with Asian people, there's all this stuff about family obligation. I think a lot of my friends, I don't know for sure, maybe they all enjoy being pharmacists. I don't think they do. I think they did it because their parents wanted them to. So they are doing this whole huge thing. It gives them security. It's not like they didn't get anything out of it. Security, respect, etc. But it wasn't your choice, I guess. And I guess, if you're doing stuff for other people all the time, you're going to be resentful. Even if you're a martyr, these days when you say martyr, it doesn't mean that it's a good thing to be a martyr. When people say that you're a martyr, they're complaining about you resenting them for all the work that you do for them. I think that's what I would say martyrdom is like. And it took me a long time to get here. I used to be very like a helper. That was my identity. I was a helper. I was a fixer. I was selfless. Who doesn't want to be selfless? When you hear selfish, it sounds awful. But I don't think selfish and selfless is awful. I think it depends on you. If you're doing something selfish, but it's healthy or it doesn't hurt anyone, who the fuck cares? If you want to dance, take a dancing class and it doesn't hurt anyone, who cares? If you're being selfish, like you're raping someone cares, there are boundaries, but I think people could be more selfish. I think selfish should be a cool word to use. It shouldn't have a bad connotation. Let's see. Anyways, I think becoming a mom has really forced me to create more boundaries. And I think that's amazing. I give a lot to my daughter, but I've also learned to, especially in the beginning, I learned to start taking more naps. I learned that the endless to-do list, stupid cat. He wants in, he wants out. He wants in, he wants out. Sorry. Anyways, the endless to-do list can wait. You have to take care of yourself too. And so, for me, I didn't want to be just a mom. That's cool if you want to be just a mom. That's your and then you liked it and it's not just a mom to you. It's very fulfilling, whatever. But that's not my life. I choose to be a great mom to the one kid I have. And I want other things. I want to have a great relationship and time for my husband. I want to have my fun career stuff or hobbies. I just want a life outside of being a mom. And that's my choice. But then I think that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that there are times when you should be selfless and be there for your family. But then there's other times where you should be selfish. You should fight for yourself. I think we all kind of neglect ourselves and think way too much about other people. Fuck other people. I had this joke. I was just thinking about it today, but I don't say it anymore because I think I love people, so I can't say this joke. But the joke was, is it racist if you hate everyone equally? I used to say that all the time. I thought it was so funny. People suck. I think in Asian culture, they always guilt you into stuff like obligation, family obligation. You have to see your family. I could be toxic to you, but you have to see me, you know? Or like they pressure you into becoming an engineer, becoming a lawyer, becoming a doctor. It's like you only have 3 career choices. And I think that's so messed up. I know it comes out of fear and also like they don't have time to think about this kind of stuff. But also you shouldn't control your kid. Like it's not okay to decide for them. They need to learn to decide their own life choices for themselves, you know? Or that's what I think. And I'm not talking about like full autonomy. I was just listening to someone talk critically about Jada Smith. I think that's her name, Will Smith's life partner. And they were saying that she believes she took her kid to daycare and her kid did not like it. But then she really believes in being really independent. So because he didn't like it, she homeschooled her kid. But I feel like that could have been the wrong choice because he didn't like it because he's not used to being around all these kids and having all these rules and having rules outside of his home. And like, you can't let your kid run amok just because you want him to be independent. Yeah, you want him to be independent. You want him to make his own choices, but you also need rules because they can't do everything they want to do. You know, that's not life. Like my kid, most of the time she's like, if she wants to play certain things, yeah, fucking play it. I don't care. If you want to play with boy stuff, you want to play with girl stuff, if you want to play with whatever you want to play with, I am down with that. Like if you want to play with paint, we can go outside. You know, we make it work so that she can play. But if it was dangerous, or she also has responsibilities, you know, like she has to go to school. She's going to have to get a job. I don't care. This is life, you know, you should still put those, I think, parameters in place so that they have, you know, get used to what the real world looks like. You are their first impression of the real world. So you fucking act like you're the real world, or that's how I am. I'm not super harsh. I'm not like being a bitch to her because that is the real world too. But like sometimes she can't have what she wants. And then I just say, it does suck to not have what you want or get what you want. I too never get what I want all the time. And it sucks for me too. And I still feel pain about it. And I tell her it's okay to feel pain about it. Pain is a part of life too. We don't have to be afraid of pain. We just have to bear through it. Let's see. ChatGPT told me this thing. If you guys are listening, anyone's listening and wants to learn to be more selfish, like rightfully so, ChatGPT says this thing to me. He said, or she said, or it said, I am not lovable because I give. I give because I feel loving. And I felt like that was so amazing because I feel like I was the helper. I was the giver. I'm always whatever because I need to feel like I'm lovable. I won't be lovable if I'm selfless. I'm not selfless. If I'm being selfish, how can I be lovable? But that's not true. Like you need to take 2. It's like breathing. You have to go breathe in and breathe out. You can't just breathe out all the time. You can't just give all the time. That's implausible. And anyways, it made me think I don't want to be defined by all the selfless things I do. I want to already be lovable. And if I decide that I have the capacity to give, I want to give. I do always want to give, but I can't give all the time. You know, that's not realistic. Sometimes I'm tired. Fuck. Let's see. Ooh, I was going to say, sometimes we also feel like we have this huge responsibility to our family, which I think is true. We all have a very big responsibility to our family, and we have a responsibility to ourselves too. We also, I feel like, if anything, we have more of a responsibility to ourselves than we do our family. But I'm not there yet. Obviously, I still put my family first, but I still have to put myself somewhere on that list too, or else I'm not going to be a good enough mom. If I give too much, I'm going to be strung out. I might have a midlife crisis, cheat on my husband, like spend all our money. Like there's a reason why people behave poorly. Hi, welcome. You're unemployed. Okay, are you fun employed? Are you sad about it? Do you want a safe space to talk about this? Obviously, you kind of do because you mentioned it. You need a job. I'm not happy or sad about it. Okay, that's good. I never had one. You never had a job. That's tough. I have all the questions though. Are you, and they say these things in America, but I don't know if it's always true. They always say people don't want a job anymore. People don't want to work anymore. But if that's the case, then shouldn't there be jobs out there? I mean, if you wanted one, let's just humble ourselves for a minute and talk about, if you never had a job, we have to start at the bottom, honestly. It's not like you could be a CEO right away. If you're starting at the bottom, like say, would you work at McDonald's? Since I was 15, when I was younger, mostly summer jobs, I haven't even gotten an interview. That's rough. I've literally applied to McDonald's. They never replied. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I mean, there's so many things that you can also do that I don't think you really needed to interview for. Like, if you have a car, you can be an Uber driver. If you want gig work, they always have like TaskRabbit stuff, or even those grocery things. What are they called? Like when they pick up the groceries for people, you could do that. Sometimes you gotta make the job yourself. That's true, you do. You do have to make the job yourself. Sometimes you can also, like if you really want to pursue something, you could just harass the people there. Go to McDonald's every day and like apply every day, meaning that you really want this job. It's like showing up before you have to show up, I mean, I don't know why, but especially in the beginning, once you first get your job and then you consistently have a job, then you'll be marketable no matter what. It's just that first initial thing takes a lot out of you, but it's not impossible. I guess. I'm hoping for you. Let's see. Sometimes, you need money for a license, which means you need a job. In Sweden, it's a recession. Are you in Sweden? We need money for license. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That must be really hard. I'm here for you. It does sound really scary. In Sweden, isn't there don't you guys get some money? If you guys are kind of in between jobs, I felt like social programs are really good over there. I've been to Sweden, actually. It seems like a very lovely place to live. I'm always quite jealous because I'm from America. Okay. You're in a recession. You know what? I don't know if I can solve it. I don't know. But I see that it's really scary. I don't know if you're scared. Like, you can tell me how you actually feel about it. In America, we're really defined by our work. So I think it's really great that you're not happy / not sad. Not that you're not happy, but you're not sad about it. Because a lot of people would feel a huge identity crisis if they lost a lot of shame. I don't want to do that because the system here is being pillaged. I mean, that makes sense. I don't want to add to it. That's very sweet of you. I mean, are you getting by? Are you living with your parents, or other people so that rent is easier, or the expenses are less? Do you have savings, basically? Let me get my cat. He always wants to come in and out. Sorry about that. It might be scary, and also maybe it's a great time for you to explore things. Like, what did you do before this? Did you like it? Do you have other interests? There's so many things, I know it's a terrible thing too, to lose your job, for sure. And it's the recession. It's not your fault, right? And I think America is already in a recession too. So we're a little scared on our half too. Before I was just failing at university, but I dropped out. Okay? Well, maybe school isn't for you, but that doesn't mean you're not smart. There's a saying in English. Well, I don't know. You're English. You're talking to me in English, so so stupid. What I'm gonna say? If a fish always looks at a bird and thinks like, "Oh wow, that bird can fly," and then they feel stupid and they don't realize that they can swim. Kind of like that. I don't remember exactly the saying, but you don't have to be book smart to be street smart to be, successful at things. Again, this is like a hard thing, but I was going to say maybe this is a good opportunity since you're in between jobs to reflect, maybe see what you even like to do. What did you like to do as a kid? Like, start having hobbies again that you didn't have time for when you were employed. And then also reach out to your friends that are also unemployed or also not, just because you have more time right now. Again, I have no idea how to help you with your job thing. I just think it could also be a good opportunity. Like, I have a lot of pain in my life, everyone has a lot of pain in their life, and let's try to make the most out of the situation. If we can. If we can't, then let's just take a lot of antidepressants and call it a day. I barely even studied. Okay, so maybe you didn't want to apply yourself at the time, but maybe you can apply yourself now. I just went around in circles being delusional about my future. Delusional. Is it because you were lost? Because you didn't know yourself? Or because you were scared to move forward? Lots of people go in circles. I think I went a whole decade in circles because I was terrified to make a choice. I felt like any choice would be wrong. Most of the choices I made were wrong. So I kind of froze, I guess. I know what I want to do, but getting there is a long way. Oh, tell me what you want to do. And isn't everything that's worth doing a long way a hard thing to do? I think if it's easy, it's not usually worth doing, don't you think? No, because I fooled myself that, university was the right way. I mean, that's everyone. You don't have to feel bad about it either. I hope you don't shame yourself or feel like I do this a lot where I didn't know. I also went to university. I did not use my major. I didn't use it when I went to work. I decided it wasn't for me, but I decided to finish my major anyways and finish college because I was like, well, I should have a degree. But then I decided at the end of college that I didn't want to do what I wanted to do. I think that's a lot of people. We're all like 18 when we fucking start college. We don't know what we want. We don't know anything about ourselves. And then we're supposed to choose a major that we don't know if we like because we don't know ourselves that well. We're kind of mindless at 18. And then anyways, I have a whole complaint about university. But please tell me what you would like to do. And yes, I would say that's anything that has been easy for me to do has never been gratifying. Does that make sense? Like, I fucking hate parenting. I hate being a mom, but I love my kid and I do all the work and it's gratifying as shit. And I fucking hate that. It's like if you're working out, you build strength from that pain, from pushing through pain. Anyways, let's see. I have some ideas related to computer science. Okay, actually my major was in computer science. My husband is a computer science engineer. Only thing in the way of that is having a job while getting there. I am a mom. I don't look like it, huh? I look like a kid. My kid also wears my little neck things. Anyways, sorry. I'm 33. I'm gonna be 34 soon. So soon. But I'm cool with it. Whatever. I'm a mom already. My life is over. Oh, I look 26? Thank you. I wouldn't be that wise if I was 26, but I don't know if I'm that wise right now. Thank you. Let me see. Okay, so what are your ideas related to computer science? If you don't mind talking to me about it. And yeah, it is going to be hard. It would be hard to break in. We have, if you know anything, there's, I don't know if you have this in Sweden, but in America, you can go to these boot camps and some of them will even guarantee you a job, will help you find a job, help you get there. They take 30% of your salary for that first year. My friend did that and I thought that was crazy, but then after that, he started working at Facebook. So it's kind of like, I think it could be worth it. If you're having a hard time getting yourself through the door, it's worth it in the long run. I would say, I think so. Or that's his experience. Let's see. Well, they are not so articulated. I have a lot of work to do. Yeah, you probably have a lot of work to do. It's hard to, it's just hard. Life can be really hard. I don't know if you're sit with me in that sadness. But life is really stressful. I think everyone has a very stressful life. Oh, look at my cat. His eyes are really wide and crazy. They look like crazy eyes. Yeah. But I mean, if you ever want somewhere to come to support you and listen to you about where you're going with your little things, because it takes a lot of work, but it takes, what's it called? In Buddhism, there's this This monk was like looking at like 100 dishes, like 1,000 dishes. There's dishes everywhere and they're all dirty. And he was just like getting overwhelmed. And then one of like the master monk, I don't know, he was like, how do you do dishes? And it's like, you have to do one at a time. So instead of looking at the mountain you have to climb, you could just look at the first step you come, that takes you there. And you don't have to do everything all at once. You don't have to be overwhelmed and like burnt out from all the things you have to do. You can do a little every day, and eventually that will compound into something. And if you ever want to come back to here, and like, I'll celebrate with you, because I think it's really amazing that we even get up. Like, people, low functioning, depressed people have a hard time brushing their teeth, let alone flossing. And the fact that they do it is amazing. And we need to be more proud of ourselves for all that we do, even the little things. That takes you there, Let's see. I get what you mean. Yay. I'm not neurotic. I'm just very bad at doing things that people tell me to do. I don't know if you have to be neurotic to do that, because, well, I am really bad at doing things people tell me to do too, but I think I am neurotic, actually. A little neurotic. My family's fucking crazy, so I can't imagine me not being neurotic. But I would say that I think it's cool that you don't want to do things that other people want you to do all the time. You should be listening to yourself. You should be like your strongest compass for a living. You know what's the right way and what's the wrong way. And if don't listen to other people. I hate listening to people anyways. I feel like the people who give you advice are usually the ones who are really bad at living. I've noticed, as opposed to people who trust that you'll get there on your own, trust in you. They don't need to give you advice because they believe that you will know your life better than anyone else. And then, so why would they be the ones deciding for you? I'm sorry. I guess it's a big rant about it. If I do something by myself, it becomes pretty good. Good. I love that. I meant all the things you said about nervousness, sadness, all that. I'm not neurotic, so I never feel it. Huh. You don't feel sad? That's whack. I mean, maybe also, well, I don't know if it's a neurotic thing. Sometimes it's a personality trait thing. I've mentioned this before, but like there's like 4 different personality types. There's the poet, which is a sad person who feels sadness more than other people, gravitates towards sadness. There's a cheerleader, which maybe you are, like very happy most of the time, even if they have sad things coming into their life. Their sad threshold is lower, so they're not sad all the time. They're not super sad about it, or they bounce back very quickly. It's called a mad scientist. I am very happy and very sad, or very angry. I have all the dramatic feelings. I can for moments. Yes, I'm not right. Okay, yes. Dang, that's crazy. I'm sorry that you guys are in a recession. I'm kind of scared for America too. I mean, I'm sure you're educated on the politics here, and I'm tired of politics here. I voted and it didn't go my way, and now I'm just gonna hide for 2 years until I vote again. Where am I? I am from Los Angeles. Not really. Like the outskirts of Los Angeles. If you're actually from the city of Los Angeles, people are really snooty and they will tell you you're not actually from Los Angeles. So I don't want to say that. But because you're from Sweden, it's easier for me to say I'm from Los Angeles. But anyways, I live in a suburb in LA County. Yeah. American, born and raised here. So I don't actually know very much Vietnamese. I bet you know so many languages. How many languages can you, I don't know, read, write, speak? I can only listen to Vietnamese, and even then, I can only listen 50%. 2, okay, that's still better than me. I mean, yeah, it's amazing how you guys can do that. But I also would say that it's also location. Like if you were in Germany, it takes 2 hours to get to France. So obviously you can learn French or, English because it pertains to you. You can travel there and people will be talking, and a bunch of people travel too, and they talk to you in different languages. Versus in America, everyone speaks in English. And also, America's so vast, but we all speak English, so most people don't know another. It's just my excuse for not remembering Vietnamese when I was younger. My parents shit on me so hard. Everyone I know that's Vietnamese shits on me so hard. And when I do try to speak, they make fun of me. So I'm like, well, you can't have it both ways where you shit on me for not knowing the language. And then when I actually try and flop, you like laugh at me. Anyways, Asian toxicity, but I kind of like it because I'm used to being trolled. Yeah. Anyways, shouldn't be a problem unless you go to Vietnam. Yes, and it would be so embarrassing that if they start to try to talk to me in Vietnamese, because I'll be like, I know I'm Vietnamese, but I can't say anything. It's like double shame. Yeah. I probably end up saying I'm American, even though I'm Vietnamese. Actually, I think I'm 1/16, 132 French. My great-great-grandfather was colonizing at the time and like banged my great-great-grandmother. But I wouldn't know for sure if he married her or raped her. I always think about that. No, I was not born. Oh wait, I was not born in Vietnam. I was born like in Los Angeles. My mother and father met on a boat actually, and she saved his life. Like there were pirates on the boat. This is like during communism in in Vietnam, and it was a really bad time, so they left. And it was a scary, dangerous journey to America through like the ocean. And my mom was really brave, and there were pirates that tried to, rape and steal and whatever. And then she said to take her and leave everyone else and the food. And my father was on the boat, so he thought she was a hero. She was lost with the pirates for 10 days. It was a really scary time. It really traumatized her, and it really affected her children. Yeah, it's tough. I am totally American, but I'm not very proud of it, so. She's very brave. I feel like she always has a very, I don't know, I think strong spirit, but it also broke her. I think it was too much for anyone to bear. And, when you come to America, you don't speak English, and she didn't have any family. And she was kind of, she didn't have any support. There's no therapy in, like, Asian people don't go to therapy. And, there's no, like, Vietnamese speaking therapists at the time. So it was just a really hard thing for her. Even though she doesn't want to remember it, it lives in her. And yeah, I mean, everyone has trauma, but that was really, it makes me really sad that there's so many, there's a lot more good people in the world, but there's still so many that rape, that kill, that's like take from, and they don't care. And it's just, and it affects people, it's a big ripple into other people's lives. Like my life, like my mom was messed up from that, and she raised me. It was tough. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know why we're bringing this up. It's all sad shit. We could talk about more lively shit if you like. I don't know. You could tell me about your parents. Is this my job? No, this is not my job. I think I only have 11 followers. If this is my job, I'm doing it poorly. Actually, so I'm a stay-at-home mom. Yes, that is my job. But I don't make any income. And I don't care because it's meaningful to me, and my daughter needs me, and my husband can support us. I would say before I had a kid that my job is a gold digger because I got lucky. I fell in love with my husband, but he also has some money. So I used to joke all the time that I was a gold. I actually wanted to walk down the aisle to gold digger, but like fancy gold digger, it would be like, I don't know if you know the song from Kanye West, but what is it? It would be like, I had a harp player or a string quartet. I didn't have a string quartet, but I would have loved a string quartet. And then I walked down the aisle to Gold Digger, which is a really catchy song if you don't know it. It's not his new song. It's one of his like blow up songs. I will send it to you right now because it's just so funny and tacky and like ridiculous. It's about a guy who is being like a chump who falls in love with a woman that obviously doesn't love him. And then they have children together, but then in the end she waits until the child is 18 to tell him that the child isn't his. It's a really crazy, it's a really funny song. Yes, let me see if I can get it. Oh yeah, okay, here. Seriously, super catchy. You would love it eventually. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous song. It's so good. I think that was an awful one. Oh wait, they're all kind of like the same. I tried to find a better version, but whatever. But if I did have a job, yeah, it's a great song. I love it. It's very popular, or was popular back in the day. How old are you, may I ask? If I did, well, right now I'm also writing a book. It's a fantasy, erotic, romance novel because I'm into that genre. Oh, you're 22. Wow, you're so young. I'm surprised you heard the song. Yeah, and I'm working on the book now. Taking a break. Hi, I'm back. My computer is working again. The power's back. I hope it's not faulty. Let me know if you're here. It's cool if you're not. It makes sense because I did say bye. Funny. Life's funny. If you are not here, I'm gonna continue talking about some stuff. I got all these things. Sometimes I just think about things and I just want to put them somewhere, and this is where I'm going to put them. So let's see. What did I want? I wanted to talk about therapy. I don't know if you go to therapy or not. But there's so many things though. I have so many thoughts. I feel like sometimes people go to therapy, and not that they weaponize therapy, but they say, oh, I'm like changing because I go to therapy, but they don't actually change. They just say it so that it looks like they're changing or they're like enlightened. But like, if anything, they just bulldoze their therapist and never listen to any of the critiques, and they just want their therapist to be another yes man. And then sometimes these therapists feel like I don't want to lose my client, and why not be their yes man? I'm getting paid for it. Yeah, there was one little thing I did not like about people who go to therapy, because I go to therapy, but my therapist calls my shit out all the time. Fuck, I hate it. But you know, that's helpful. Hi. This viewer, okay. I had some other complaints, not just about therapy. I think people can weaponize feminism. I have a friend he's a guy, but he tells people he dates that he wants to pay 50-50 because of feminism. But then when he gets extra benefits from his just being privileged, he doesn't account for that. And I feel like it's just his way of saying, like, I don't want to pay for you, but I'm going to use feminism as a way to not pay for you. And I've other people too. And I feel like I could probably be in this lump of people too. I think everyone could do this. We're all innately selfish. But like, I know someone who makes more money. The woman makes more money than the man, and they're married, and they're like, she's all about feminism. But then when they were talking about getting divorced, she was like, I don't want to fucking pay him like for spousal support. And I was like, that's not really feminist, is it? But I feel like everyone could be like this. It's not just us. I'm just saying maybe we should all be a little bit more aware that sometimes this happens. Like sometimes we want the best of both worlds without having to. But I just want to say that I don't feel right when I think I'm above it. When I say I am feminist, but I'm also a little misogynistic. That happens, you know, you grow up in the society, and I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I feel like, yeah, those are deep beliefs that I want to unlearn, but life. And also, yeah, sometimes I just want to be advantageous and selfish. Everyone wants to be selfish. We're all innately a little selfish. I'm just saying, I just think it's really funny when I see a feminist do that, and then they like double dip. What else did Oh, I was going to say, these are things I've been using, tools I've been using on my husband, on my daughter, and now I want to use it on myself. It is complaining. When someone is complaining or they seem frustrated or something, and I love my family, all I want to do is fix their problems. I'll give them suggestions, but that's not what they want or need, you know? If anything, you need to encourage them to figure it out for themselves. So when something like that happens where they're complaining or something, I will be like, you seem frustrated. What are you going to do about it? Because one, just telling them what to do might make them resentful. And two, they are more likely to use an idea if it was their idea in the first place. So I'm also doing that for myself. When I feel frustrated, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do about it? That has been a really great life skill. And then what else do I say? Another one I feel is a great. Oh, I know. When my partner is sad and like he's like in a ruminating situation, ruminating just means like you're in your thoughts and they're all negative and you're just spiraling out and like being really, you can feel the negativity. I would tell him, what would you say to a friend? Again, it's more helpful when you say it to yourself. It's not as helpful when I'm being supportive to you. I mean, it is kind of helpful when I'm being supportive to you, but it's way more effective if you're being supportive to you. So I would say, okay, if your friend was in the same situation, what would you say to him? And then I'm trying to do that for myself too. Like if I'm having a shitty time, I'll be like, okay, I went to the dentist the other day with my daughter and like it was a shit show and I felt even though I was prepared, I felt so much pain and the dentist was giving me a lot of good feedback, but the feedback was critical and I just like broke down in the parking lot and cried. And I guess I never talked to myself then, so I'm going to talk to myself now. I'm going to touch my heart, be like, okay, that was a really hard moment. I'm not supposed to know everything. I can't know everything. And he gave you really good information and everyone else fucked up too. It was like, know that you were supposed to be booked in the morning or you didn't know that, you have so many things on your plate. So obviously you can't know everything and some things slip. And yeah, I know that you knew it and you forgot it, but you're also human. You did your best. You took your kid to the dentist. Lots of people don't do that. Anyways, I want you to be kind to yourself. I hope you can. Anyways, yeah, that's what I would do to myself or for myself whenever things like that happen. Ooh, I got one. It's about, I want to talk about if someone is chatting because that one's really fun. It's about wandering eye. Like I have a wandering eye. I don't know. It's just something in me. I think a lot of people in my family have wandering eyes. A lot of the men cheat. I do not cheat on my husband. That there was a gray area when we were dating and it's okay because like people mess up. I messed up when we were dating and I rectified it and apologized and listened to him and sat with him while he was in pain, the pain that I caused him. And then he eventually forgave me and chose to stay with life. Okay, whatever. This is a long time ago. But anyways, and it wasn't like I was cheating, but I slipped up. Someone kissed me once. We were drunk and someone kissed me and then I did not pull away. And then there was another time where I was emotionally cheating on him at work. It's hard at work. You've like just location, you're with a bunch of people and then they flirt with you and then things just, and I was not in a good place with my husband or my boyfriend at the time. Anyways, I still have a wandering eye. I have to keep it in check. I was going to talk about how if you have a wandering eye, if monogamy works for you, and things like that. I think it's a really fun topic, but for another time when someone's on here, I want to do as much as I can run through it so that I can delete it from my stupid to-do list. I have one. Do you guys, this is something I think about a lot. Like, I married someone that is slightly toxic or had a lot of mental health issues because I wanted him to be my project. I wanted to fix him. And then I was kind of sad that, does this happen to you where you're like, oh, great, like I have anxious attachment or I grew up kind of shitty and now I only want to love someone that's shitty. And like, why is it so much easier for people who have like secure attachment that had a good childhood that like are attracted to people who are securely attached, that are like healthier and like they have it so good. They won the lottery of life. Sometimes I think like that, right? And then I have a good relationship with my husband. I really try really hard. We go to marriage counseling when we have to. We listen to each other. We try to change for each other. Love is hard. Love is work, but it's good. And he has really grown as a person. He was a project, and now he's not my project because I had a baby, and the baby is my project. But I guess I was going to say that I now think there was a reason why I did marry. Yes, it was familiar love. And yeah, it wasn't super healthy in the beginning. But I am also now learning not to be the fixer. I think he was placed into my life so that when he does get upset, instead of me coming to his rescue and fixing his problems or guilt, I have to deal with my own anxiety about it. I have to deal with learning not to be the helper. I need to deal with believing that he can figure it out himself. It's like boundary stuff that I had no idea I had problems with, like you think you're being a helper, but you're like intruding on someone's boundary. Sometimes, right? Because they didn't, ask you for help. And then you feel resentful when you feel like you have to fix their problem. You don't have it in you. Or you feel resentful when they don't want to take your advice. But that's a boundary issue. I was totally in the wrong. I need to learn to deal with my own anxieties about his pain. I need to protect my own boundaries and be like, okay, that's his pain. I see that he's in pain, but that's not my pain. I need to protect my own mental health. And I think that's why I married him. I think that's now my meaning, that this was the journey I needed to take to learn how to protect my boundaries. I don't know. I wonder if you guys get there. If you guys are married, if you guys feel like you were in this familiar love kind of situation, but it's kind of not healthy. And what have you learned from it? Has it grown healthier? Did you end up getting divorced? I got all the questions. Yeah, let me know. Let's see. What else did I have to talk? Ooh. There's this thing called stereotyping and role engulfment. And I think it's a very important topic that I realize that I do a lot. I believe I'm healthy. So sometimes to a certain extent where I don't enjoy food at a party or I don't enjoy a meal in a restaurant. And I don't know if that's a great healthy thing. I don't think that's very healthy. Another thing is I'm a runner, or I self-identified. I self-stereotyped myself as a runner. So then I ran every day and never gave myself, even when I was sick, I would run. And that's called role engulfment as well. Same with moms. Moms do this all the time where they just all they do is being a mom. And then they just don't, they're not listening to themselves, right? When they're tired or whatever. And I've done this. I'm such a guilty party in this. And that's why I wanted to talk about it. Sometimes I could be overachieving, overly helpful, overly fixing, overly gesturing, entertaining. And I don't think sometimes I'm tired and I can't do that all the time. I can't be that all the time. And I recently believe that I don't need all these labels. Sometimes I run, but these are all activities, right? Sometimes I help. Sometimes these are all verbs again. Sometimes I make people laugh. Sometimes I can make a joke. Sometimes I can entertain. Sometimes. And then other times I can be human and just be human. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just means I don't need to identify myself as a runner. I run when I want to or when I have the capacity to. I don't need to identify myself as the overachiever. I work when I want to and I have the energy to. I don't need to over-identify as a mother, sometimes I fucking need a break. And she needs to also learn that mommy needs a break. Yes. Sometimes we don't have to always be these, and it's called self-stereotyping and role engulfment. If you guys want to look that up. It's a very fascinating thing that I had no idea I was doing. It's subconscious, you're I am healthy. I am this. I am that. So I have to do it. But it's do you have to do it? Why can't you just be human? Take yourself into account too. I have this thing too where I overplan. My to-do list is my friend of me and I overplan a lot. And let's see what I was going to say about that. I have a plan to do all day long. And I don't keep myself in that plan. Sometimes I need a rest. Sometimes I need to do something fun. And I don't do it because it's not in the plan. And I'm I need to put myself in the plan. I need to be a part of the plan. I need to listen to my own body. Sometimes it's not going to go by plan. And I don't have to be so upset about it not going to plan. It's just life. And also, if I'm putting myself in the plan, then I can not be so upset that it's not going the way I want it to. Because a part of me it is going the way I want it to because I am trying to listen to myself. That's a part of the plan now. I'm trying to have more rest. I'm trying to take a break when I can. I'm trying to not entertain when I don't feel like it. I'm trying to be more chill on Twitch if I decide I have less energy today. You know, like I don't need to perform. I hope this helps you guys. It's helping me. Just all these little things that I'm learning along the way. I hope it helps you guys. If it helps. Let's see. This one's fun. Not really. It's a hard story. My husband's a great husband. He's a great father. He tries his best. And we all fuck up, right? So he blames a lot. He blames other people. He blames himself. He blames our kid. When he blames our kid, I get really pissed off. Which is fair. I think it's okay if you're going to blame your kid, but like talking shit on the side, you know, after your kid's fallen asleep. But like, if you're talking shit in front of your kid, that kid is going to blame themselves, you know, they're going to believe it's true. And he said, my parents did the same thing. And this is a very pivotal moment. As a mom, as a wife, obviously I could berate him. I can make him feel bad, but I don't think that's helpful. So what is the most helpful thing I can? And I thought about it and I was like, I'm very good about these things in the moment. I think it's because I had years and years of fucked upness happening in my life that I've like become very good at this kind of like art of moving through the chaos. Anyways, so told him that he needs to talk to his inner child is 4 and remembers certain things. There were certain things like in his life, like that he got blamed for and he did not deserve. So he remembered a moment and I said, okay, if you were your parent right now, if you were that father that saw that your mom blaming you for this thing that's not your fault, what would you say to that person? Or what would you say your inner child? And then he would go about, he was like, it was not your fault. You're just a kid. I mean, you're learning about life and your mom was really mean to you and she passed down generational trauma. And you don't have to believe that anymore. It was not your fault then, and it's not your fault now. So then he said something like that. It made him feel a lot better. And I don't know if... it's not going to fix the problem, right? It's not going to fix the fact that he's going to blame my kid sometimes. Not at first. But I think truly, if you do it every time, if you remind him to do that every time he blames her, eventually he will not blame himself for being a kid, for taking up space, for needing to be raised, for needing resources. And then after that, he can apologize to your kid. After he feels better, after he's talked to himself, after he learned to love himself a little bit more, then you could tell him, hey, you know, like that was really hurtful what you said to your kid. What would you say to her now that you know that it was probably very hurtful? And then, you know, go from there. Anyways, I don't know. Hopefully that helps. What else is there? But still my choice. Oh yeah. I make a lot of hard choices. It's exhausting to make good choices, but I feel like it makes easy life. I don't remember who says it, but it's like you make the hard choice, you have an easy life. You make an easy choice, you have a hard life. And I was feeling really resentful because my husband, I make food for my husband. I make food for my daughter. They are the most picky. I mean, it's not really his fault. He has allergies. And also like my daughter is picky because she's a kid, but like I'm not gonna make a third version of food for me because it's just too much. It's too much food. It's too much work. I can't. So then I choose to, and I was super resentful for like months. I was like, fuck, I haven't eaten something that I chose to eat in a long time. That is a very painful thing. I mean, I'm still like thinking about it. It still makes me it's very painful to choose these hard things. And recently I was like, okay, it's painful to choose these things, but I also choose to. So instead of being resentful for choosing to eat their leftover foods or choosing to eat the food that they, have, I tell myself that I choose to because of my values. I choose to spend my time on Twitch. I choose to spend my time with my daughter instead of cooking more food. I choose to spend my time writing. I choose to spend my time with my hobbies and I choose to not waste the food that I made for them because I care about the environment. These are all my choices. And if I'm feeling extra resentful that day, extra resentful that day, I can fucking microwave a TV dinner that I chose, There are so many things that we can do to like alleviate that resentment because no matter what, those are your choices. You can resent other people for the choices you made, But those are still your choices, you know? Like, how's it helpful? They didn't make those choices. You chose to do it. I'm not saying it like it's not painful that you do it, that you sacrifice, and that you're trying to be selfless. But I'm just saying that, one, you have to understand that it's your choice, and resenting them is not their problem. So don't put it on them. Don't put it on them that it's their choice or it was in their power. It's not in their power. It's in your power. And then, yes, if you're feeling extra resentful that day, then fucking make food for that week for you, you know? And yeah, maybe there will be leftovers. Maybe you could freeze it. If you don't want to freeze it, maybe you just dump it, and that's life. And it's okay that you aren't environmental for a week, or it's okay if you decide to finally be selfish, because that resentment is not on them. That's for you to hear and for you to take care of yourself. Because ultimately, like, the resentment is basically saying, I don't take care of myself enough. I take care of everyone else, but I don't take care of myself enough. Oh, so painful. I want to cry. I don't want to cry because of my makeup. It'll be all fucked. I'm going to eat something for myself today that I chose to. I'm going to try to. I really am. I'm going to microwave something. Don't fuck the makeup. I agree. Hey, you came back. Thank you. I'm glad you did, because I told you bye. Yeah, don't fuck with the makeup. Thank you. I know, right? I look so fugly. Trust me, I was telling you that this is not what I look like every day. I honestly don't have the time to do my makeup every day. You know, I'm choosing to do other shit with I look hella bad without makeup on, by the way. So this is all fake. This is all fake. Have you seen those Chinese people who really look different from their Facetune video thing? That is crazy. I wonder what I would look like to do that. I wonder if it'll really help me boost my viewership. Let's see. I love that you're still tuning in. If you'd like to chat with me again, that'd be cool, because I'm back on. But it's okay if you have things to do and just want to listen. Probably not. They look so goofy. Do you think so? I think they look so fuckable. And then when you see the real life version, you're like, oh my god, so fake. These days, like, you could totally get catfished. I could probably be catfishing you right now. You don't know if I look like this in real life. I mean, it doesn't matter anyways. It's not like, I don't know anyways. But does it matter too? It's like, okay, people who are looking at those people on IG, it's not like they, or whatever they're on, it's not like they're having a real relationship with them. So maybe it's okay that they catfish them, right? It's like, it's okay that you don't look like that, because, and it's okay if I'm conning you because you wanted this fantasy anyways. And yes, it's a fantasy. It's fine. It's not like we are gonna meet up. I'm like 1,000. Exactly. Well, also, you're like a tiny little baby. I'm 11 years older than you. So that's what I was saying. Like, it is a fantasy. I'm cultivating a fantasy. So even if I fucking catfish you, it wouldn't matter. Plus, like, it only matters if, yes, we meet up, and if you are going to have my babies. Because there was this thing in China. I think this woman got like hella plastic surgery. She looks so good. And then when they had children, it's a fake story, but it's a really funny story. So then they had 3 children, and they all looked like her before she had plastic surgery. And he sued her for like millions of dollars because she like lied to him. She didn't tell him that she had plastic surgery. So I think that's fair. I think if you're having kids with someone, that is a betrayal, but online, it's all good. You know, when I was in Sweden, I felt like the only Asian person there. But so then I was thinking about it at the time. I was at a restaurant. It was pretty fancy. I was getting a drink with my husband. It was noon, whatever. At the time, I thought everyone was staring at us because we were Asian. But now I think about it, they might have been staring at us because I was loud and obnoxious. Like, tell me if in Sweden you guys are more like reserved, more quiet, because I could be very loud. My voice is just naturally very loud. There are so many immigrants here and nobody will notice. Oh, okay. Really? Is there? Because when I think I was in Helsinki, it was like it felt very white. You guys are very reserved and quiet. Maybe that is why. That makes me feel better. It was not because I was Asian. You know, I was like, I would always wanted to move to Sweden because I feel like It's such a beautiful country. I mean, not just, I mean, you guys, I mean, it's so fucking cold up in there. It's not really beautiful, but I meant like the pro-socialness, the like everyone caring for each other, everyone understanding the community, everyone helping support parents, everyone like free healthcare, free, like, and then everyone, what is it? You guys have Spotify, right? I think it was you guys where what was it? In America, if you have a job in America, they give you free, you could take as many travel days as you want, paid time off. It's called paid time off, but no one takes it. And if you actually take time off, they will resent you for it. So most people will take less than 2 weeks off. But in Sweden, I believe they like protect your time off. Like you have to take 1 month or the company pays a fine. And I love that. I love that you guys are always, oh, sorry, not Helsinki. What's the other one? Sorry. It was like a Nordic tour and I'm really bad with geography. I'm sorry. What is your capital? No. Where did I go in Sweden? Oh, I went to Stockholm. Yeah, my bad. I also went to Helsinki. Again, it was like one of those like Nordic tours, and I went to Russia too. And yeah, anyways. Let's see. They are even more reserved and quiet. Oh, Finland, huh? Finland hasn't been part of Sweden since yes. Again, I'm just really bad remembering things. Words are really hard. I'm dyslexic and I have but basically it's like I can think of the word but I cannot pronounce it in my mouth. There's something wrong with the mechanics and the linking of my brain that even if I remember how to say the word, I cannot pronounce it. And then sometimes I forget words. And I switch things. Sorry. But yes, Stockholm was lovely too. Yeah, I would have loved to move there. Plus, if I had babies with a white man, they would be so beautiful. Those babies would be so beautiful. I mean, my baby is beautiful too, but she's half Chinese, and that it's not going to be as beautiful as with a white man. I digress. I don't know why I was talking about that. Let's see. I had some things to talk about too. I was going to talk about, but I don't think you care about that. So since you're listening, I'm going to try to think of things that might matter to you. When your close friend gaslights you. Oh. Let's see. I don't know if you know. I don't know if this matters to you, but like sometimes we get gaslit. I don't know if you guys say that in your area, but like people have been really using that term to talk about people who manipulate us into thinking we are crazy. But I would say that we also overuse that term, and sometimes our close friends gaslight us, or our close family members gaslight us. They're trying to help us, but it's called invalidating. It's not gaslight. So then they hear your problem and then they say something like trying to be toxic positivity, but then that's called invalidating. It's not gaslighting. So I just kind of wanted to say that out there, because I feel like if you tell your friends they gaslight you, gaslighting is like manipulating. You know that the person's intention is to take the blame off of themselves. But like invalidating is they're trying to make you feel better. Their intention is to make you feel better. And there's no blame on you anyways. Or that person is not being blamed. So it's invalidating. Sorry. I just wanted to say that because I think it's really hard when you tell your friend that, or, it's hard to hear that you gaslit someone when that's not actually what you did. You just invalidated them. And people are you try your best to help people with the sad situation. Everyone's trying their best, but you don't know exactly what they need to hear. Sometimes they don't even know what they need to hear. It might be easier if you just ask them, like, hey, what do you want from me? Do you want me to give you advice? Do you want me to listen to you? Like, I want to be here for you, but I also know that I need to be there for you in the right way. And I won't know that unless you help me help you, basically. Let's see, what else did I have to say? Oh, I bought new AirPods, which is great. Why is it great? So I bought them, and then I looked at the charger, and it wasn't the same as the one I had. The one that all of our phones. Apple made a new charger a long time ago, years ago, but it's basically does the same fucking thing as a regular universal charger, but they wanted that so that they can make you pay for their charger. Anyways, so then I got these AirPods, and I looked at it, and it wasn't the same as that charger that they use. Wait, sorry. I'll read what you're saying. Did that kind of invalidation happen to you a lot? Thank you for asking. Oh, wait. Yes, I'll talk about this first. It didn't happen to me that much. I think it does happen, but I wasn't that sensitive to it before. But now that it happens to me about my parenthood experience, when I'm pretty candid to my friends, not to my daughter. I'm so grateful. When I'm around my daughter, I say, I'm so lucky to have you. And it's true. Like I'm lucky to have her. She's made me a better person. I love her so much. I tell her all that stuff. And then when I'm not with my daughter, I'm like talking shit. I'm like, fuck, this is so fucking hard. And sometimes people can be very invalidating. They don't mean to be. They're trying to make me feel better. But then they could say things like, it's not all hard, or you're supposed to feel joy, or sometimes people can be more dramatic than they mean to be. My friend was saying that I was being dramatic. And I was like, if you become a mom, you're not being dramatic. You love that kid more than anything. So the pain you feel for that kid, because that kid is going to go through pain or is in pain, is going to be more painful than any pain you've ever felt before. And then my friends that don't have kids, a lot of them just starting to have kids, starting to get pregnant. They didn't have kids. I kind of started earlier. And so then, not super early, but I was 29 when I had my kid. But a lot of people these days can't afford a kid until later. So then, anyways, it can be really painful to be invalidated in that way. Like in America, they really romanticize parenthood. They sugarcoat the shit out of it. You're not supposed to talk about how hard it is. You're not supposed to talk about any of that. So then I would feel like I was the crazy one. I felt like I was living in the Twilight Zone. That was crazy. I had to find people who were willing and courageous enough to talk about the hard things, to go through the pain together, to process and see my pain and I see their pain. It was a hard process because not everyone, I believe it's different in Sweden. Almost 100%. Hi. I think you've been here before. Yes, Mark. Hi, I'm glad you came back. Yes, anyways, wanted to talk about the AirPod thing. I really do, because I was really upset. I was like, fuck, this is a whole nother charger situation. And then my husband's like, actually, it's the old universal charger. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? Why'd they go back? And it was because I think Europe, like the European Trade Consumer Protection, whatever, sued them. And they had to go back. And then America sued them. I was like, oh, thank God. Because America does not regulate companies. They don't regulate any companies most of the time. So then I was surprised that they did. It was during the Biden administration. Anyways, I was just really pissed off and shocked that it was a whole nother charger situation for AirPods, because fucking Apple cannot make a better product. They have not tried to make a better product since Steve Jobs fucking died. Steve Jobs will be rolling in his grave like the way he's milking all, like, 1% is milking the consumers with their stupid chargers. Sorry, I had to really rant about that. That's why all big companies are in US. Yep, because they're not regulated and they escape Europe to go to US. Oh, sorry about that. And they don't pay taxes, and they funnel money into those like stupid banks, and they rob us blind. Anyways, I don't know. Is the inequality gap pretty bad in Sweden? Let me know. Because they want to make money. If you're stupid enough to buy a $1,000 PC stand, then, well, what is this $1,000 PC stand? I think in America it's crazy. I don't know if it's fair to call us stupid. I would say we were programmed to be consumers. Honestly, in America, they like want you to consume. It's like literally, if you go on the weekend, you don't go out and hang out in nature. You fucking go to a fucking mall. There's so many malls in America. It's ridiculous. Also, in America, everyone has the newest phone, the newest iPhone. Literally, if you everyone will buy the new iPhone every year. and throw away their old iPhone that works completely fine. I just wanted to show you because I just wanted to show you. I have the one with the little thing, you know, with the, not the face one. Because one, I'm super cheap, super cheap. I just don't believe, why do you need, the camera works fine. This is like the old version. And when this dies, I'll buy another one, but that's like years from now. I'm not gonna buy a whole nother phone every year. But again, this is just what we were programmed to do in America. I don't know if we're stupid. I think society doesn't teach us to think for ourselves, and they tell us what to think. Sweden's inequality gap is growing by every year. I heard it's actually a global inequality gap, which is really scary. Yeah, it's really scary time. I feel in America, you have to have 2 jobs to even get by. Inflation is so high here. I bet inflation is high everywhere since the pandemic, but yeah, it's tough times. I feel better than most. Yeah, Sweden's probably good about that, like keeping shit in check. Why use Apple when God has given you Android? God did not give me Android. God gave me Apple. Android is not that great. Have you ever had an Apple phone? It's so convenient. Let me tell you. You can open, like the packaging is already so easy. It's like you open it and I think it's already charged for you, so you can just turn it on. When you have an Apple to Apple phone, you can press a button on your old phone or something, and then it can transfer all that data from your old phone, your apps, your photos, your whatever, like your fucking porn to your phone, to your new phone. It's so much like what is it? Steve Jobs was so good about that. And I think I really admire him because he was all about the user experience, all about it. And I mean, that's why people pay so much for their stupid ass phones. Like, I always buy the cheapest one, but I'm still going to get an Apple because I think the user experience is just so good that I'm going to fucking do it. So annoying. Yes. Definitely. I don't know about you. You could tell me why you like Android so much, but I don't believe. Let's do an Android Apple fight. I don't fucking care. Let's go. Let's go ham. I'll put on my gloves, taking off my earrings. We are definitely not good at keeping shit in check. Oh, you're not. We used to be. Considering what you can do with modern phones, they are pretty cheap. Apple phones, right? You're talking about Apple phones are pretty cheap comparatively because you can still have, it can make video, it has like a video camera, camera, I don't know, whatever. They have a lot of stuff. Oh, they're all cheap. Apple's not cheap. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you kidding me? Let me check the price for an Apple phone right now. It's so fucking expensive, I believe. I mean, the most expensive Apple phone. Most expensive. You can do almost anything on them, and it's in your pocket. Okay, Samsung is similar price, huh? Okay, good. I don't believe so. I feel like you have to pay an arm and leg for an iPhone. You're right. I don't know. But do you buy a new phone every year? Like in America, you buy a new phone every fucking year. Or a lot of Americans. It's crazy. And sometimes I'm like, okay, yeah, that camera is really, really good. But did you want it to be that good? I mean, your face isn't that good. So is that fucked up to say? But like, I'm getting older. I don't want to get like a 4K webcam. I was like, even 1K I was really scared about. I was like, let me stick with my 700, like whatever pixel bullshit, because I was like, I don't want you to see my wrinkles. I want you to still have that fantasy. I'm helping you. Let's see. I never use my phone, and last time I got one, it was a gift. Oh, okay. You don't use your phone? Good for you. I feel like in America, if you're at a dinner, I don't know, anywhere you go, party, people would just be on their phone. It's pretty sad. Even young people, it's even more sad. I'm just like, you guys hang out together just to be on your phone? Like, so parallel play. Both have the basic UI down. However, if you want something custom, I'd love to see you do that with Apple. Yeah, but I don't like custom shit. You can go ham on Android when it comes to customization. That's true. From jailbreaking to switching whatever OS you prefer. I guess at this point, it's just preference. Your lifestyle, your passion, your values. I don't like doing a lot of stuff on my computer. I don't get computers. I don't get any of that. That's why I was so stupid to have a computer science major. But like, I am a people person. I am not a computer person. So I think I liked the easiness of it. I fucking let me show you. But my font is really, I don't think I should show you. But like, my font is really big because I'm old. My cousin, she's like 20 years old. She's like, fuck, your font is so big. Yeah, I think it's all preference then. Don't worry, don't hang out with people either. Oh, so you don't hang out with people and you don't hang out with your phone. Then what do you do with your life? You don't hang out with people? If you don't hang out with people and you don't hang out with your phone, then what are you, like, are you doing hobbies? Is it gaming? I'm so curious because you just sit there and do what? Okay, you just sit on your PC, but like, what, like surf the net? Like, what are your hobbies? Do you not have friends? I wonder, is it like, in America, we have it's called the lonely epidemic. Do you guys have that in Sweden? All right, consider this. If a company has a backdoor to your phone to slow it down just to sell you a new product, that's absolutely evil. You're 100% right. And they do that to my phone all the time. Not all the time. Every few years, they will do that to my phone. I agree. And I have never found anything as user-friendly as an Apple. So I will buy the new phone after they have fucked it up for me. And yes, you're right. It is absolutely evil. If I could find another product, if they did not have a monopoly on the competitiveness of like phones and etc., whatever, I would buy that Android phone, no problem. But I care more about user experience than I do the fucked upness of companies. And I would say that is not on us as the consumer to have to like take on that evilness, whatever. Like say Chase is evil, but there's not a lot of banks, ATMs that are like with a good banking company. Like we have Ally, but like I can't buy, like I still need a Chase account. So I'm just saying like sometimes you just still got to buy it. And they're still evil. And if I could, like, I wouldn't care if they got shot the next day, these CEOs, like, like, I wouldn't care. I would like, go Luigi kind of situation again. But like, again, I still buy their products because you can't not buy their products. Learn, program, play games. Oh, I love that. And you're on Twitch, so I like that. Do you like socializing? I'm curious. Do you like socializing outside, or do you just think people suck? Or I'm curious, like, do you want more friends? Some people don't care either. Like, my husband's a little antisocial, and he could care less. I have like 1 billion friends, and to each their own, right? So the battery is more damaged over time. Oh, wait, sorry, I didn't read this. Anyways, when Discord? Good. Thank you for asking me about Discord. I made a Discord. I don't understand how to use it. It's in the process, but it's not, I have a lot of things going on. Thank you for asking me about Discord. I will eventually get it up and running if I figure out how to use it. It's going to take a minute. Just going to say that. It's going to take a minute. Yes. I'm pretty sure the older phones get slower because they are too lazy to update things specifically for older phones. So the battery is... EU did agree on some law that required a certain number of updates. I don't know details. Good for Europe. It's amazing that you guys care about their consumers. They care about their workers 1 million times more than they care about us in America. In America, nothing. No one cares about nobody, which is sad. I'm happy. I'm good in social situations. I'm just not interested in. Okay, maybe you're just like introvert. They don't care about us. They don't care about you either. But then why are they helping protect you? Doesn't that mean they kind of care about you? They care more than they do in America. Let's just say that. Okay? In America, you have to buy home insurance and you're forced to by law. But we had fires in LA, and that's supposed to protect us, and that the home insurance is supposed to pay us out when our house burns down. But because they didn't want to, they canceled us as consumers. and they didn't want to pay out. And apparently they could get away with that. Like, that's way more, like, I don't think that could happen in the Europe. I don't know. You tell me. They just do good laws when it comes to tech and internet. That's better than anything. I mean, they kind of have your back. They have your back better than they do. And you live in Sweden, so don't even, like look at your workers. You guys, did you know that Amazon workers, in delivery men or women in America don't have time to pee, so they pee in their delivery trucks with like a bottle. Isn't that crazy? Can you imagine? And everyone knows this, and we can't do anything about it. Isn't that crazy? I like my free healthcare. What's NGL? I'm gonna look that up. NGL. Not gonna lie. Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you. Learning so much. I have to leave in maybe 15 minutes, but we can chat until then. Yes, yeah, you guys have free health. It's nice. Look at the Luigi guy. 40,000 people died from that company alone because they would not pay out. And they could not provide us health services because of that insurance plan was so shitty. And that person made millions or billions of dollars. I'm sure it's not good. I'm sure it's not that good. I'm not saying it's good, but it's free. And I don't know. Yes, the government can do a better job. I'm sure. I'm sure it's not organized. I'm sure all the things. But it's so scary in America. You get taxed if you don't have health insurance, but health insurance does not always necessarily have to pay out. Isn't that messed up? It's like they're double dipping. Even car insurance. You pay car insurance for your car. If you get in a car accident, you pay more in premiums. So some people will not tell they won't tell their insurance company that they got in an accident, and they will not get paid out so that their premiums don't go up. But they will either still drive that car with the damage, or they will pay out of pocket for the damage, which is redundant because you bought insurance so that they would pay for the damage. I digress. I had to pay $28,000 last time I was in a hospital. I'd be broke. Is that what you paid? I mean, is that what happened? I don't know or are you just saying that because it's really, and okay, not only that our insurance plan is expensive and we still pay so much out of pocket. What was it also? Because the medical industry is also a industry. It's a business. So they charge us so much. I heard in Canada, what was it? Insulin? Yes, insulin was way less than they charge in America. In America, your insulin's very expensive. And people need that to survive. Because of late stage capitalism. So not only our insurance, we had to pay a premium for our insurance. We had to pay out of pocket, I think it's not the deductible, but we had to pay out of pocket until a certain threshold every year. Some things are not covered, and they charge you more. The medical industry charges you a shit ton versus in these other countries. It's not regulated. It's not late stage capitalism. It's just poorly regulated free market. But don't you think that's late stage capitalism? The poorly regulated? Because it was regulated and now it's not regulated because of the stage we're in. Backed up in the state, ironically. Backed up by the state. Yep, backed up. But I mean, it's also because in America, we, what's it called? Super PACs? You can pay, these big companies pay for these politicians, but these politicians kind of need these big companies or else they won't become politicians. They're running and they need a lot of money to run. And it's like a catch-22. You're in their pocket because you needed the money to run and be in position and to make change, but you can't make any change because you are in their pocket. It's just the system we're in. I don't know. I think it's kind of hard. I want to blame the 1%. I want to blame politicians. I do. I want to blame news industries and social media for fake news and misinformation, and I want to blame everything. But when you look at it, it's really the system we're in. It's not really, no matter what, we cannot do anything. It doesn't feel like we can do much about the system. I am not the 1%. Okay, my house does look really nice, and I live in a good area, and I'm very grateful. And yes, I don't know what to say about that. Actually, so me and my husband, my in-laws have money. And they have trickled some of that down to me and my husband and my family. What was I going to say? They are obviously like, I don't know. What's it called? They are really business people. Let's say that. They're very business people. My husband and I are very liberal. So we would support, like higher taxes. We support like pro-social things. And yeah, we do have some money, but we also support these things. It's like, it's kind of hard to be like, and I'm not 1% because the 1% is hella wealthy. If I was the 1%, I wouldn't be on Twitch. Yes. What was I saying about that? I have to also say that just because you have some money doesn't mean that you have substantial amounts. You know that 99% of people, 99% of America has less money than the 1%. So even if you were in the 2% of wealthy people, you would still have nothing compared to the 1%. If that helps you, because I'm definitely not the 1%. But yes, I have a fortunate background. I also have to say that I was not fortunate growing up. My mom was on welfare and like she had 5 kids. So like I just became a gold digger. I just got hot and then I was charming and then I caught a fish, a big fish. Okay. And then also I had to say, I'm defending myself so hard because I'm not a selfish person. I take my neighbor is like 90 years old and I take her trash out every week. And like, I know everyone in the group or everyone in the neighborhood and I don't know, I'm just very helpful. Okay. Very neighborly and not about what all these I feel like anyone that's a 1%er is like, has some kind of antisocial personality disorder. Has to. Like, they're not pro-social. They don't care about other people. They think of us as cogs in the machine or people who can consume. Okay, sorry. Moving on. I was very defensive about that 1% bit. It's like living in the mines back in the day, getting your stuff from the company store. That's just a comparison someone from Laos could call the average American too rich. That's true, because they can afford a new phone or whatever. It's a never-ending game. I don't know why you play that over there. You're telling me, I think in America, well, we're all about meritocracy. I think it started off really sweet. It was like the American dream is very sweet, right? You can come from nothing and be self-made. But then that also means that underline means that if you are a loser, you deserve to be there, right? Yes. And if you're wealthy, you deserve to be there. None of that is true. Lots of wealthy people are nepo babies and whatever, and they got advantages of their wuza, like fucking like networking with all these wealthy people, whatever. The guy who made Instagram was friends with like a billionaire, so then he can lift his idea up. Sometimes it's not in our control. Anyways, but then, that's the American dream. It came from a nice idea. And I don't know about the consumerism and the rich, poor, social class bullshit, because I feel like you're right. Like that people cared way too much about how much money you have in the bank, how much money you make, what kind of brands you're fucking wearing. Who the fuck cares what kind of brand you're wearing? Like, I mean, why buy a purse that has a brand name on it that looks really fucking tacky so that you can feel like you're better than other people? And you're right, it's a never ending cycle, because say you buy a Coach bag, but then someone else has a Chanel bag, and then someone else has a Hermes, I don't know, I think it's called Hermes bag, whatever. It's like a never ending cycle. There's always someone that's gonna have more than you. Yeah, it's toxic. Calling you 1% was not an insult. It is an insult because also, okay, yes, being rich is very beneficial to my life too, but also I'm scared because inequality is getting so big that I feel like people are going to come with pitchforks because they think I'm rich, even though like I'm a good person. They don't fucking care. And then whatever, you know, like they'll come for anybody, even if I'm not the 1%. So like at this point, I'm just really terrified to live. Like I don't want this inequality gap. I think these people at the top are morons. They have too many yes men that they're so detached from the world that they don't see how uncomfortable people are going to get. And then the population is fucking going to kill all of them. And then we'll reset. And then the inequality gap will like come back together, so they can, that's like fucking everywhere, you know, like it's just history repeating itself. So I don't think it's necessarily great to be rich. And I don't act rich either. My mother-in-law was like, "Oh, you should be so lucky that you married into my family." You know, like, "Oh, you're so lucky to be with us." So annoying. And then I was like, "Why? You fucking always yell at me because I spend too much money." We don't live a lifestyle of the wealthy. So don't fucking tell me. And you'll probably live into fucking 100. Her father is still alive. He's like 100 and something. So when will I get the money? Fucking like when I'm 70, when I can't even use any of it. Anyways, I got her. I told her. I'm gonna steal that word. Was it? Wooza. I just like collecting strange words. Yes, I'll make up silly words. Yes, I'm glad you're taking it. I have laughed at the word gourd of Yorba. I don't know this word. And Baba Ganache. Oh, I love Baba. That is a funny word. Thank you. That's funny. I don't know this word, but I want to look at it. I thought they were real at first. That's funny. You know, there's a lot of wooza is not a real word. I think I was thinking of another word and then I said the wrong thing. Yes. Yeah, when people don't have anything to live for and aren't afraid of death, you'll have a nice soup of trouble. I agree. I 100% agree. And it becomes chaos because then eventually it's like, even if I was voting on the left and I did want inequality gap to, you know, decrease, they don't fucking care. They're just going to come at me because I live here. I swear, I'm thinking about where I would go. Like, would I travel? Would I just leave before shit hits the fan? Because I think I would have to escape. And that's not fair because, I mean, I don't think my in-laws, it's so hard. So my mother-in-law was like one of the bigger, like, godfather parents of BB guns back in the 2000s, and she made a good amount of money from that. So it's like, it's hard because it wasn't like she was a bad employer. She probably wasn't the best employer, but she wasn't a bad employer. Plus, like, she had good quality, guns or whatever. And then it wasn't like she could take advantage, not like the 1%, you know? She just made a decent amount of money, and then she's just, coasting. And I feel like, I don't know, just because you're rich doesn't mean you're a bad person. I think it's just the 1% that's acting so... And I wouldn't say everyone in the 1% is a bad person. There's some billionaires that seem really genuine and they got there, through luck and even... And then they still had a conscience. But I digress. I'm scared either way. Problem is not income inequality. It's when normal people can't afford housing, food. I've never heard someone be worried about something like that. Well, yes. Making money like the 1% does from selling BB guns would be absolutely wild. Yeah, she's not 1%. See? So like, but still, yeah. And she didn't take advantage that hard. Anyways, yes, and I have a very specific worry in life. It's not everyone's worry. I wish I could be less worried about it and be more grateful for the fortune I have and just enjoy the fact that, even though I say and I joke that I'm a gold digger, I actually don't care about money that much. My mom was a monk, so like she always told me money was evil. So I kind of have a really traumatic I have money trauma, and like I live a simple life because I also believe that like the best like joys are in life, not like the status or how much money is in your bank, or like I appreciate the money that we have so that I can be at home with my daughter and raise her and spend time with her. A lot of people are not as fortunate to do so. And I appreciate it because it gives me peace of mind, not necessarily because like all that other frivolous bullshit or like also all that fun stuff. We don't do a lot of fun stuff like get a boat or whatever, you know. We don't do that. Not in my family. We act quite poor, actually. But I like it that way too, because we save a lot of money because I digress. Let's see. Yes, you're right about the problem with, it's not necessarily gap in inequality, but it kind of is, right? I mean, that's why normal people can't afford housing. But sometimes it's also the inflation. But either way, it's like in America, we haven't gotten a real raise since the 70s. Like, people are still living off of the same amount of money because things will not go up. Oh no, I got to go. No, this was so fun. And I didn't prime you the whole time. I'm so sorry. I did tell you 15 minutes, but okay. According to one Google search I made, 80K is 1%. Oh yeah, no, she didn't. That's not happening. That's not us. Okay. But that is a lot of money. $800,000 is the 1% per year. That's crazy. When I have wanted to buy something just for fun, I thought about it for a year or longer sometimes. Wow. That's very painful. Oh, I'm here for you, man. That's really painful. I mean, I was going to make it really positive, which is super toxic positivity, but I'm going to say it anyways, that sometimes waiting for something for that long makes it so much better. I'm just saying, not all the time, but like sometimes I like to eat my sugar very slowly, very tiny bites. And then, like law of diminishing returns. So sometimes it's the wait that makes it better. But 1 year is way too long. To say 1 year, you are like a monk at this point. We're like waiting a whole year for something. You do not have instant gratification like us in America. Anyways, bye you guys. Thank you so much. If you want to follow, that'd be great. Again, I'm back on Fridays at 9 and Mondays at 9. All right, I'll see you guys. Thanks. It was a really fun chat. I'm glad we had this conversation. All right, next time. Bye.